Hello and welcome everyone, I'm TheSparrowsJourney, a former pirate, now apparently a farmer. Today on my first look video we're gonna be taking a look at Farming World. I don't normally cover these type of games. It's a strategy simulation game where you take over a farm and try to thrive your corpse and be successful at the market, because it's somewhat a game that takes a while to show the real meaning of it. But because Excalibur and Merge Games, which is the developer and publisher of this game, were so kind to send me a copy without even me contacting them, that was very kind, I'm going to take a look at the Farming World, which will be coming out on Steam in a few days. So let's do that. Let's be a farmer, taking a quick look at the settings. Nothing much can be changed, only the sound volume and full screen or not. There's no specific graphic options because we're gonna understand why. When you get into the game, there's not too much graphically that can be changed at all. So we're gonna go and start a campaign mode. I've been through the tutorial. The free play would be interesting in the sense of where we wouldn't have any difficulty throughout the video. But there's no IE in this game. There's no computer playing against us. So I want a little bit of challenge. So I'm going to choose the campaign mode, which in all fairness doesn't feel like a campaign mode to me, because you're not given a mission. You're not given a specific objective. You just have to be more successful than the other guy. And that could be the free play entirely. Anyway, let's go with the campaign mode. And we're going to choose... There's just a few options here: Australia, Germany, Italy, Peninsula, Spain, United Kingdom, and USA. Now, the main difference here is basically obviously the soil and the weather, which will determine which crops you want and should grow. I'm going to pick USA just because I think it's the most, the one with the most options. I'm gonna pick the red color just because I'm TheSparrowsJourney. Let's go with that, and medium difficulty. I am somewhat a good farmer already, so let's go with that. And here we are. I'm gonna pause the game for a second. And right off the bat, one of the words you can say is tycoon or tycoon. Not even sure how you mentioned that, but I'm a long-term lover from the Tycoon series. Every Tycoon there is, but especially the transport one. Or the railroad one, I think. The one with the trains. I really love that one. And the farm world kinda is keen for that feeling with Tycoon. The graphics, the options you have, the way the game rolls basically screams for Tycoon and those first Civilization games. But it is much more simplistic than that, at least from my knowledge and what I've played so far. So what do you gotta do? You start off the bat with 2 warehouses with 120 tons. Another is a little bit smaller. 2 slots for 2 vehicles, for 2 agriculture vehicles, and 2 silos with 100 tons that should gather your wheat, and the warehouses normally gather the fruits and the vegetables. So what we're gonna start with right now, we are starting with 20,000 money and stars. Now, money basically is used for everything in the game. The crops, the seeds, the vehicles, the slots, the land. The stars, however, are used to unlock things, unlock better things. It's some sort of science in other games where you upgrade your stuff, like better vehicles, better pesticides, better fertilizers, things like that. I'm now having the game pause. I'm not even sure if I can buy land with the game pause or not. Because my color is red, that's why it's showing everything red. This is the condition of the soil, if it's in good quality or not. Normally, and I had to figure this out, the ones which are more compact, have the red color more more dark are the ones with better quality. So I would want to expand my farm to this side because it's very good quality soil here. This one, not so much. Here you can see bad quality soil. So you want to keep to your colors, to the color to your farm. That's basically how they give you the impact of the quality soil. Now I'm gonna buy some rent, and I'm gonna try to follow a normal process in starting a game and trying to be successful at it. So I'm gonna rent some land. Right now I have to select my slot, so I'm gonna pick it has to be connected to a road, so I'm gonna pick, I could build a road here. It would actually not be a bad idea. So I'm gonna build some low quality road. You have here a higher quality road, which basically makes your vehicles faster. I'm not even sure what's the impact of that, honestly. I'm gonna buy this part of the road. Let's do that. That's somewhat costly. And now I'm gonna buy some land, I mean. Let's select it. Something along these lines. There you go. You can rent it or buy it. Because we're short on money, it's obviously risky to buy it. So I'm gonna rent it. There you go. 15 gold or coins a month. Or a day. That was a day. It was a day. So we have to start by plotting our land. I'm gonna turn off this. And again, here it is. You have high-end vehicles, advanced vehicles, and basic vehicles. Basically, the differences are in efficiency and slots requirements. So that the higher your vehicles are, you need better or more slots. So I'm gonna rent again the vehicle. You can buy it. I'm gonna rent it. 1,000 coins. There you go. It's now plotting the land. It's just something you normally should do in every farm, new farm lands you get. It's somewhat the process. I'm gonna speed up a little bit so that we get a quicker ploughing. Please, vehicle, be quick. There you go. It's now done. You can now use a fertilizer if your land is low quality, but it's not. It's 98% quality-wise, so it's excellent. So I'm not going to use fertilizer, it's somewhat a waste. I'm going to do plant, and here's where things become a little bit more complicated, but still very simplistic if you ask me. We have several types of crops. You have drupes, pomes, citrus, nuts, etc., etc. To starting out, and this is something I've been learning along the way, you should try and grow something that it's not relying on a month or on the weather, because it's somewhat more safe. When you get more money, when you have your farm a little bit more secure and you're being successful at it, you can now be more risky and try riskier type of crops. Like you can go for trees, which take longer to grow. You can go for, I don't know, drugs. This is a drug plant. There's no marijuana. Why? Well, here is Halroy. Halroy is somewhat redneck. Somewhat a redneck that advises you which is the better plantations to grow right now. I've come to a time where I don't really need his help, and especially at this early state of the game where I need money, and this guy will cost me 500 euros, it's in euros, coins to advise me, so I'm not going to use his advice. I'm going to grow some safe crops. I have to pay attention to the weather and to the month they will grow at. Right now, in the root vegetables, actually they don't have any specific... What the hell? How can I... No, there's no need to scroll. There's no more vegetables. There's not a specific month in which they will grow, but some of these have a specific month. Like, for instance, runner bean will grow on March. We are currently on March itself, and we are on day 1. I'm actually not sure if it would be a good idea to plant runner beans, because I'm not sure they will grow in 1 month. I know here that the growing phase lasts 4 days, so the first phase, seedling, lasts for 30 days. Then you have bloom, ripen, and mature. So I'm not sure if this month of March is for this specific phase, or this one, or this one. Because for instance, if it's for the seedling phase, it would actually, I think, not be a bad idea to plant runner beans, because they will grow in 1 month and then mature in the remaining months. But I'm gonna play safe and go with, for instance, peas, which don't have any specific month, and they grow quite fast. If you notice, if you, for instance, consider peanuts, they will take a lot more time to ripen. So you have all these phases: bloom, seedling, actually, bloom, ripen, and mature. Only when you reach, I think, the mature phase, you can harvest them, but you can let it mature even longer to another phase, which is called the harvesting phase, I think, and let it grow to a point where you can use it even more. For instance, if you're comfortable on money, you can just let it grow a little bit longer so that you profit a little bit more. So let's go with peas and unlock it using 3 stars. This is where you use these stars over here. This is somewhat tricky. I mean, they could use science instead of stars, which is something that everyone is used to. But in any way, this is how they're working out. Let's put it a little bit more faster here. Or even more faster. There you go. Now it's planted, and I basically need to wait. This is now basically a waiting game. And you take care of your crops, you water them, and you see if it's needed. There's a water here level. It's at 100%, so I obviously shouldn't water it. The soil quality is also excellent for now. You can take some information from your crops here. But to be honest, there's actually some information that I'm missing. This is to say that the game is really missing some things. Like, for instance, when I go to the market, I would love to know how the prices are for a certain type of crops. I would love to know, for instance, when it's the correct time to sell my crops, because you can harvest this and you can store it on your warehouse, and you don't have to immediately sell them to the market. So I would want to try and guess when would be a better time to sell them at a higher price than they are right now. Anyway, I think I'm gonna buy a new plot, because this will take a little bit more time. So let's choose one. I'm not sure if it's good or not to have it one right beside the other one. I don't know, it might be a negative effect. I'm kind of short on money, so I should probably aim for something like this. Let's rent it. And now having the same thing. Ploughing, and it's somewhat a repeating game right now, where you have to do always the same for each farm plot you get. There you go, let's choose something to plant. Let's now use Elroy, just so you see how it works. So Elroy, give me your teachings. Now there's a star beneath each picture now. This is where Elroy kicks in. It tries to give you some help. So estimated quality percent, estimated yield percent, fully preferred for growing. You can check what are the crops that will grow better or not. For instance, this one is not so good. Maize, it's not that good. Let's see, this is not good at all. Rice, you shouldn't plant rice whatsoever. So let's take on the Elroy's advice and plant some. I want something that comes out fast, so it doesn't have any specific month. It can be growth anytime. I'm gonna go with a carrot, or with carrots, not one carrot. No one makes money harvesting just one carrot. Sparrow. There we go, it's not doing it. And you can loan money on the bank as any other simulation strategy games that are out there. And I could borrow a little bit, a couple of thousand, but I'm not actually much in need right now. I do have to pay them right now 12,000. So that's my goal. to eliminate all my debt and basically win over the AEs or the AI. It's a freaking big farm plot. Look at that. The guy has some cows, some cattle, and that's something you can also do. I'm gonna go over here what you can buy. So basically you can construct roads. You have here all the seeds. You have fertilizers, which again have the lower quality and the higher quality. These are the organic fertilizers. I bet they're better than the synthetic, which should be artificially produced. I'm not even sure. I'm not a farmer, okay, so I don't really know that sort of crap. There we go. Hope the game would crash. We have pesticides, again, organic and synthesized or synthetic. And you have animals. I still haven't built any cattle, chicken, whatever. I might do it in this game, so just so to see how it works. But I bet once you throw out some animals in there, you can just, for instance, use the organic feces from the cattle for some fertilizers. I'm not sure. Lifetime in days, marketable after days, space requirement. It should be interesting to grow, or to, yeah, grow. Animal will produce this item time to time. Chicken eggs. This might be something that you want to sell. Goat milk. Okay. So not only you can build plants, you can also build some animals. Horses. You can even have horses. I want to have horses. I'm not too safe on money. I'm gonna try. So I need a plot first, and you also have obviously buildings. Oh, bakery. This is cool. I didn't know this, obviously. So not only you can have the basic plants, but you can use them, those raw materials, to produce some higher quality materials and food, like probably milk, hanger. I'm not even sure what you put in a hanger. There you go, cannery, garage, a butcher, so you can produce meat. It's pretty cool. So it shouldn't be safe to start out with an animal farm because it's more risky, but it's something you should look into later along the line. Different vehicles as well, plus fertilizers, green planter. To start with, I would buy a fertilizer because it's the vehicle you use most at the start, I think, or a sprayer. And you have the personnel, which you can rent to harvest your crops. You have the high-end group, the advanced group, and the basic group. This should be the rednecks, this should be the people with the college. This should be the people in your university, I'm not sure. But they basically varied in speed, efficiency. That's basically it. So, horses. Do I really want to have horses right now? So, these crops are doing fine. They don't need too much handling right now. So 23 days for the peas to sown. They don't have any hibernate period. So if for instance, let's say the peas would only have a growing month of July, you will have here a countdown to reach July and start growing. So this is why you have to time your crops very well, in a way that you don't go bankruptcy. You should have different type of crops that grow in a different type of months. I'm not even sure why when you put it on high speed, it doesn't change the day cycles. I understand you don't want this to go day, night, day, night, day, night, because it's really fast. I think it's missing a mid-term speed between the 10 times and 100 times. There should be a 50 timer over here or something like that. So let's buy some plots again, buy land. Actually, horses should need a good farming plot, right? So I'm gonna use a worse quality one. Let's try this one. I'm actually not sure what's the requirement. Oh, wait a second. Maybe I just didn't need this type of thing. Probably didn't need a farm plot. Let's see. So animals, horses. Here you are. Wait a second. Maybe it's the same way. Let me try this out. There you go, it's done. Plant, it's not plant, it's animals. This is something I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe you need a building instead. Something like a horse farm. Animal related. Certainly not a greenhouse. Animal related. Here you go. A large pen for large animals. Horses are large, right? So I would need something like this because I still don't have too much money and I don't want to go bankruptcy right now. So I should destroy this farm. Don't really need it. You can buy it after renting it, which is obviously something you should look for. Terminate. There you go. I'm gonna build. Okay, pen for large animals. There you go. And now I want horses in there. How can I do that? Buy animals for this pen. There you go, horses. There you go. I have horses. What can you do with horses now? Your animals are infants. Days left, 182. Pen ID. I'm not even sure what is coming out of this. If it's something for fertilizers, if I can sell horse meat, that would be dreadful. I mean, I know there's people that eat horses, but I don't, and I don't like to think about it. Buy organic fodder. Buy fodder with antibiotic mixture. You'll get some money from your current stock. I'm not sure. Okay, give it. Quality of animals, 100%. Okay, let's go to my farm and see how this goes. Let's try and have one complete cycle of this farming so that you see what comes next. It's still seedling. And it's now blooming. There you go. Takes one more month. There we go. We should need, use pesticides so that they don't get diseased or something. Oh my god, what is this? Did my horses die? Your animals are starving. You should feed them ASAP. What? Nobody told me about feeding them. Buy organic fodder. Okay, so you should really have to look for this type of information. This is the point where I wonder, when you have a bigger farm, because what you see right now doesn't seem too complex, but when you get a bigger farm with, let's say, 50 farm plots and 20 animal plots, it becomes somewhat chaos just to have them all in attention. It's really hard. So you have here the watering button, which automatically will water your plants if they go under 50% of water level. But for instance, you have to pay attention to the weather. So right now, today it won't rain, but tomorrow you have a certain level of raining in millimeters. So you have to pay attention to this, because for instance, if your crops would have a water level of, let's say, 60%, you probably didn't need to water them because tomorrow will rain. And I'm not sure if this automatic watering takes that into consideration. Let's keep going forward. So for animals, you have to pay attention to their fodder level, and for farms, you have to pay attention to the water. Right now, and curiously enough, for me at least, the water level isn't moving much. I had to pay more attention with other type of crops. Okay, there, my animals are getting hungry again. There we go, the monthly report. Doesn't look too nice, because I still haven't get any type of profits. I'm curious to see what profits will I get with the horses. There still are infants. They will get mature and eventually old. So I'm not sure how will I be able to use the horses, to be honest. I could maybe throw the vehicles away and have the horses to do the farm work. Who knows? That could be a possibility. You have fodder with antibiotic mixture. Organic fodder? Okay. Maybe the antibiotic makes them grow faster, I'm not sure. But obviously that's a choice you have to make. So, the peas are getting into the bloom phase soon. The carrots are actually already in the bloom phase. You can check them out here. You cannot zoom more than this. There's not too much activity in the farm itself. You don't see any cars, any people wandering around. I mean, these are houses. People should live in here, I guess. That should be my HQ. Well, all of this is my HQ. I would like to start the game with nothing. I would appreciate to have the shut up horse. I would appreciate to have the possibility to build everything from the starting point on my own. Let's see how the computer is doing. Jesus freaking Christ, he's having 400 tons of pumpkins. And he has some cattle. I'm actually sure. Another thing that I really miss is the freaking minimap. I mean, that should be useful. That's something that you had on Tycoon, and I miss it here. Let's speed up the game again. I could risk and go with one more farm plot, where I'm really running short on money. And I'm spending 1,000 coins each month. So, almost in the ripen phase for the carrots. And I think right now, no, I still cannot harvest them. So you should be able to harvest them when they get to the mature phase. But if you want to get more out of them or a higher quality, I'm not sure what's the variable here. But you can harvest them in the mature phase, but you can also let it grow a little bit more and harvest them in the actual harvest phase. And there's the overripe phase, which you probably shouldn't let them get to that. Because I have... oh god damn it. Disease attacked the crop. Well, but I used some pesticides, god damn it. Basically, what will happen here is that my crops will have a lower quality, I think. And there won't be as many to harvest, because some of them will die, obviously. If you notice the difference between the carrots and the peas, I will have much more carrots and peas. Maybe due to that as well. Oh god damn it, my horses are already hungry. I wonder if I have, for instance, a wheat farm, if I can feed my horses with my own wheat. I'm curious about that. That's some answers which... oh, I need to water these. That's some answers you will only have if you play a couple dozens of hours, which I haven't for this first look video. Okay, let's feed my horses again and waters my peas. My peas are asking for a lot of water. Okay, in 3 days there's a lot of rain coming, so I should be careful with that and not just water my plants like crazy. There you go. You still need to increase that. That's because of that day, probably. Let's keep it going. I want to reach a point where my horses are mature and see if I can do anything with that. When you have your crops harvested and in the warehouse, you just have to come here to the market. You have them displayed here and you can just sell them. There's actually animals. This is where horses will appear, most certainly. Now the main difficulty here in the farming world for me so far is being careful with bankruptcy. Now I've lost the game already going into bankruptcy, but I think I should have, or I could have avoided that just by asking a loan. And this is where the money is tricky. I mean, I was doing fine. I had a couple of farms and doing fine, having some profit. But in these games, if you're like me, you're always on the edge. You always have the max number of farms you can get. You also always have the max quality of crops you have. You try to have the best you can for the money you have. So what happened basically is that I didn't notice, and in one specific month, I went into negative in profits in my money, and I went to bankruptcy, and that was game over. I mean, they could have give you a warning, or you just could get into negative balance and just say you have like 1 week or one more month to balance your earnings and get back into normal game. But no, it was just bankruptcy and I was finishing the game. I'm pretty sure if I have loaned some money, I wouldn't lose the game. And this is why I say the game is somewhat simplistic sometimes. It doesn't get to anywhere near complexity of Civilization or The Sim or even some of the tycoons. I'm not even sure if there's a farming tycoon or not. I keep feeding my animals like crazy, and doesn't seem to be... Oh, repair fence. They can jump fences or something? That doesn't seem to be an automatic button for the horses plot. So you're forced to come here every now and then to feed your animals, and in the long run that doesn't seem too fun for me or too enjoying. I don't know if you can employ some guys to come here and do that for yourself while you focus on more important stuff than just come to your plot and feed your animals, but doesn't sound too entertaining. This is a waiting game, somewhat, now. Waiting for your crops to build up. And that's good. That's good just to see how your crops do and wait for some profit. But they have to bring more to the table, so that it's not the same thing over and over again in a cycle. I'm not paying too much. Oh, they broke the fences or something. Pen fence is damaged. You need to repair it before it is broken and animals escape. Okay, I don't have too much money, so I'm not gonna risk a bankruptcy again, and I'm gonna ask for a loan. And let's repair the fence. There you go. It's not too much costly actually, so it should be fine. It's almost the same cost as watering the lands. So there you go. Now the carrots are getting into the mature phase, where I can just ask and harvest them, because you can. I mean, they are getting into mature, but you probably won't get as much as if you wait a little bit longer and get into the harvest phase. So I'm gonna wait for that, especially because they are not asking for water at all. Carrots are a really good crop to start the game with. There you go. As you can see the percentage there. When it gets to 100%, it should be the right time to harvest them. Almost there. The peas already entered that phase as well, and the horses are still hungry. God damn it! So as you can see, the horses, or let's say the animals, I'm not sure if this is because it's the horses themselves, but as you can see, raising animals at this early stage of the game is much more costly than just farm or crops, plants, let's say. So let's get into the harvest mode. In the harvest phase, you can pick the higher and the advanced, but I don't have them unlocked. I could, because I have 14 stars, but I think at this time of the game it's more important to unlock crops. And you can pick up stars, you can collect them when you successfully harvest a farm. There you go, 1 star. It's not getting harvested. Animals are looking fine. Let's get it and wait a little bit for the harvest phase. This music is so depressing, if you ask me. Tycoon had so much better music, so much more energetic and positive music. I mean, when you get into the 100 times speed, it gets a little bit more exciting, but other than that, jeez. I guess Farming World is one of those types of games that it's relaxing. You get home and you don't want to think too much. This is mainly the strategy and simulation perfect game for you if you like these tycoon type of games. So there you go, I have all the carrots harvested. I would like a warning to say that now you have the carrots in your warehouse, you can do whatever you want with them. You can take them home and eat them, you can take it to your rabbits, and you can sell them on the market if you want. I would love a warning like that. Before getting into the market and sell them and show you that face, I want to say that I'm not sure how this rolls right now. Normally, I let the farm like it is in the sleeping period, as you can say, 26 days for the sleeping period. And I would think that after the sleeping period, they would automatically seed some carrots again and having that cycle again, but it doesn't. It just stays there, not raising anything. So basically, you have here the reset land with pluffing. You can do this now, and you can do this after the hibernation. I'm not sure why you should wait. You can just do it now. Pluff, there you go. Just like I did at the very start of the game. This might eventually decrease your soil quality. Maybe that's the difference between waiting and doing right away. I would like an option to just have the carrots there and grow carrots again with the seeds I've grown in the past, because after you harvest, you obviously stick with some seeds, I would hope. Let's get to the market and sell those carrots. There you go. Here is the price for a ton. And I might be a type of complex person that wants to get into this type of things, but I would love some statistics and some future statistics. Like, for instance, in 1 month, the carrots will be a little bit more expensive, so you should wait a little bit more. I would like that type of projections so that I have this type of management, mini management in the game. So what I do have right now to do is to sell my 29 tons of carrots, and I will profit exactly 15,000 euros. That's good. That's not bad. And there you go. I can now pay my debt that I have with the bank and start a new plantation, or start a new farm plot, even bigger and better, or buy vehicles and have vehicles of my own instead of having to rent them. Let's wait a little bit more for the horses. That's where the really the point where I want to get to, and see what I can do with the horses. Most probably just sell them is the correct way to do it. I will have my peas now, and I can just harvest them. It won't be as profitable as the carrots because they had some sort of disease. So I can go to the market and sell them. There you go. I don't have as many. Oh, but the price per ton is a lot bigger. So yeah, by having maybe half of the tons I had with the carrots, I can reach the same profit because they worth a lot more. This is the type of information I would like to know each time I plant, each time I'm looking for a new seed to plant. When I come here and want to choose a new type of plant to grow, I don't have that type of information. You don't have information that tells you this plant will cost more than this. So it might be a little bit more risky to grow them, but we will profit more. I would like to have that type of information. Not only that, I would like to have some filters in here. I would like to choose which plants will grow on March, on February, on September, whatever, because when I'm in a certain time of the year, I want to know which plants I want to grow into that month, and I basically have to research all of these tabs in research for the better plant. You don't have the luxury type of plants here, like, I don't know, 5-star thing that basically people consume. in the luxury department. But oh well, let's see and wait for the horses. That's basically what I'm waiting for right now. I don't want them to be hungry. And as you can see, there's no devastations. There's no catastrophes that is stopping me from growing whatever I want. So basically the difficulty here is having a balance between where you spend and where you profit, so that you don't go bankruptcy. You have to choose carefully when watering your plants, which plants you grow, in which month, etc. There's still 38 days. Jeez, that's a lot. Your farm is okay! Thank you, sir. Let's keep going. Jesus, these animals eat a lot. Fortunately enough, they don't cost much to feed. That's cool. Kind of puts a balance between animals and farms or plants. I think you can only feed them once a day, so you gotta also be careful with that. I'm spending a lot, like 2,000 euros per month on these animals. And they should enter the mature phase any moment now. Okay, your animals are mature now. And there's, let's say, 400 days before they become old. So I can probably come to the market. And there you go, you can just sell your animals. Quantity in storage without contract items. So I have 7, almost 1 ton of horses to sell. Let's see how much I can profit. Not bad. They have very high cost. Oh no, this is the storage capacity. Wait a second. Which is okay, 600 euros for this might be 1 horse. This is like 0.1 tons. Is that it? Yeah. So this is like 100 kilos, something like that. A horse weighs more than that. Anyway, this is how you grow animals, and you can just sell them. Private market. Private market? Oh, I didn't know this. Hello, my friend. My name is Joanna. I'm your market manager. I do have a market manager. I can help you to sell your goods at a target price when market prices matches with that. I work with 2% brokerage fee. Oh, here's something I was looking for. I wanted to know the projections to see which will be the better time to sell my stuff. So let's try and hire Joanna and make contracts on selected items. Let's see. So I'm having the same profit basically. But I just dismiss it. Great. I want to hire you. Come on. I'm not even sure what's the difference here. Oh, I'm getting much more money now. Contracted price. Let's make a contract. Sum of contracts. Okay, I'm not getting too much into this. I'm trying to sell what I have. What I do know is that you have a contracts tab here, but I don't have any active contracts. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is interesting. This is something I missed and I should have looked for. Contract. So this should also tell you what you want to grow and at what time. So this is not as random as I was making it look so. So I should go mainly for sheep before horses because there's someone looking for sheep. So yeah, this somewhat tells you what is good to grow in order to have a better profit, because there's a contract there's someone looking for this. This is some sort of commitment. This is cool. I like this. This is getting more complex now, and you have to meet the requirements and to meet these goals. But what confuses me is that you can just ignore all of this and be profitable on your own, and the game should really I don't say force you, but make your time a lot more harder if you don't have specific objectives to meet, contracts in this case. Anyway, this is Farming World, a very simplistic looking simulation from my own opinion. It's coming out on Steam on 2 of May, a couple days in the future. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm TheSparrowsJourney, the farmer. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time with less horses.